Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Beyond Meat. Before I forget, this video is just to find levels. It's not any type of recommendations. I'm sharing my opinions on what I see on the chart for Beyond Meat. Also at the end, there'll be a subscribe button that comes up on the somewhere on the left hand side, so hit it if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel. It's free. Alright, so fundamentally the concept is good. A lot of people want to eat something other than meat. Some people want to do it for health reasons, and other people want to do it for moral reasons, take care of the planet sort of thing. Regardless of the reason, there is a market for it. I'm not a typical client for it, but the justification of its existence is pretty easy. I do have a lot of friends who are vegan, die-hard vegans for either of those two reasons or combined. Some are professional athletes as well, and one of them even made a movie about it. So fundamentally, it's not cheap. It reminds me of the pot stocks when they first broke out. Even now, it loses money, and it's selling, according to this, 73 times sales. That is a skosh high. And when I say skosh, I mean sarcastically, it's a lot high. So valuation shouldn't be part of the conversation here. This is a situation where the expectations for future sales are so far beyond what is currently happening right now that people are willing to pay whatever. Just remember, not too long ago, it was 200 plus. Almost like Tilray, right? So is this a bottom? No one can tell you it's a bottom. It's a falling knife, that's for sure. But I can tell you that from the charts, I drew this before it broke down. You can go on Twitter or StockTwits and you can see the charts that I've shared before where they stop right here. And I said, if they lose this level, then this may come. It's almost here. But I also have shared this zone, which should be support, and look where it's at. It's right in the middle of this zone. I'm not Nostradamus. I didn't see this coming, but I saw that if the levels are gone, this would come. That's a technical thing. So it's a head and shoulders-ish pattern. They attacked the neckline until the neckline gave way, and then the bears overwhelmed the buyers, and down they go. So there are a few good notes about this. This is a daily chart, about a year's worth of data. Actually, this is a new issue, so we don't have a lot of data to go back into history. So you could get more granular with it, but when it's falling this fast, it's almost useless. I can tell you that the magnetism from an open gap is gone. They filled it almost exactly with today's candle. That doesn't mean that they're done falling. It just means that it's falling into support. And one of the reasons it was falling, the technical reason, a giant open gap from whatever they said here on earnings, is gone. Plus, it is almost at the my perception of what is the target of this. I mean, a technical analyst might tell you there's a heck of a lot more to fall, about this much more. So it should be down here. Possible. Look at Tilray. It did that and then some. So let's zoom out a little bit more. And so it's a new issue. So it could go to below its offering if they're right. I'm not calling for it, but the valuation has room for it. There's a lot of fat on this from a fundamental perspective. What the traders want to do about it, I don't know. I remember they issued something at 165. So those convertibles, that whoever took it at 165 is deep underwater still. So not a happy chart, but if I haven't sold it yet, this is not the time I would start selling it. I would protect myself if I'm worried about, stop the bleeding with options. How I would buy put options for as long as I'm nervous about it. Look at this here. Another note on the daily chart. Suddenly I sound like I'm from Canada. Another note right here and right here. I'm still recovering from heart surgery, so my voice is a little out of it, and so is my wind. All right, so these are peaks that I need to pay attention to. This one, that one, and we're right here and right below. So if I hung in there from, say, here another buck or two is not going to make a difference, and I probably should wait to see what happens in this cluster. Otherwise, it's still a falling knife. They say 3-day rule or whatever. Clearly, this has not worked here. Every candle is 3 days here. So it is a tough situation for bulls, but all depends on why they bought it. Usually when I take a trade, I have a thesis. Like I went long forward because of the high dividend. I was thinking that can't continue at paying at 6.5. They either will cut the dividend or the stock will spike. Still waiting for the resolution of that, so we don't know. Yeah, in this case, if somebody bought it because of XYZ reason, then they should revisit that reason. If that reason is no longer there, then they shouldn't probably stay in it. I can tell you that this is a segment that's not going to go away. The big companies will be in it, whether they buy companies that are smaller and they assimilate them, that's one thing. Maybe it's a buyout candidate, or whether they compete against them and hurt their top line. I think the interest in the fake meat, as long as it becomes more and more realistic. I mean, we've all seen the movie, I forgot the name, Soylent Green. We're all going to be eating the same stuff down the line, according to Star Trek. We're going to push a replicator button and have our food served to us. So that's all beyond meat at the end, basically. So it's not that crazy of a concept down the line. But for now, it's still a concept. And the chart says that maybe the pain is over, or maybe there's some rest here. That's, if I'm long, I'd probably hang out for another day or two to see what happens. Nick signing out.